you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cop the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Another day in the USA. Just another day in America. Kids from my hood look up to the...
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an AFC wild card matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Baltimore Ravens. What twists and turns will January have in store for us? The NFL playoffs are officially underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. The first carry here for Ty Montgomery. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And this one's incomplete. He was looking for Ty Montgomery that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Detroit! 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 Over!
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Dante Fowler in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. T.Y. Hilton deep for the Colts. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And taken right at the 35. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, and they'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Here's Luck now on 2nd down. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Luck. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Now, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Now a first down throw. Luck. And his throw here is incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On 2nd and 10, Locke. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A shotgun snap for Locke. Flush to his right. And he connects with Ebron. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Here's Matt. And his second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. To throw on second down is Locke. Launching one for Henderson. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Now a play fake, and it's Locke. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Luck looks to throw on 3rd and 1. Being chased out left. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Play action, it's Locke. Out to his left. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off of play action, Locke steps away. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Za'Darius Smith able to get him for a loss of about 3.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. From the 50, it's Love. That one taken in by Carlos Henderson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. They snap it to Locke. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Luck on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. The safety that time, Tony Jefferson, there on the coverage. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10, Luck again. Flushed out right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Weddle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Wait a second, they did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
And off comes to Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Jackson escaping the pressure right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And the Colts coming out now. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Look, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 43. They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Back to the air. Luck on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing is Luck. Inside the 35-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
Detroit! Detroit!
Following the penalty, Montgomery. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker. On second down, Montgomery. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And give the tackle to Anthony Walker.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Detroit!
On third down, Jackson buying time to his left. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. It will give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On second down, here's Locke. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Steps away to his left. Man open left side is Brown. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Gone!
Jackson now. Crabtree with it over the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. A give. This is Montgomery. And an alley to run. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll run it here. This is Buck Allen. And he gets it down to the 32. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Anthony Walker coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And he gets it down to the 32. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Leopard! Leopard! Over!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a carry from Mack. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
From the gun, here's Love. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Brandon Carr on the coverage there. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
The Colts on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. Now Locke. Flush to his right. And he's got his man Hilton. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the first quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why it's tough to deal with a guy like that.
So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great play there. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Colts have got it back to a one-score game. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Ravens. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Got it complete to Crabtree. And out across midfield down to the 45. He got 29 yards that time. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Running left, Montgomery. Oh, spinning away. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Pierre Desir in on the stop.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game.
Detroit! 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 Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's going to get this inside the 30. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Montgomery. Jamal Sheard on the stop. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Montgomery on the counter. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They run. Montgomery. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Now Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. They pitch it out to Montgomery. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them 1 step closer.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.